Welcome, everyone, to today's episode of The Lindsay Elmore Show. We've talked a lot on the show about how financial health is part of the overall picture of health and wellness. But we've never talked much about how spirituality and meditation and mindfulness can play into our ability to effectively manage our money and grow it into prosperity and abundance. My guest today is Thomas DeSchutter. He's a business success coach and also a spiritual teacher and mindfulness expert. He's here today to meet us at the crossroads between money, mindfulness, and living a heart-centric life. Let's get to the show. Welcome to The Lindsay Elmore Show, a podcast for people who deserve to be healthy, with honest, open, and enlightening conversations with doctors, thought leaders, creatives, and spiritual gurus. You'll walk away with simple and tangible tips and tricks that allow you to live your healthiest life so you can pursue your dreams, overcome obstacles, and leave your mark. Thomas DeSchutter is a business success coach, a spiritual teacher, and a mindfulness expert. He is currently pursuing a master's in divinity because he realized the impact that his own spiritual awakening had on all of his relationships, his business, and his level of prosperity. He is a certified advanced profit first professional and a certified cash flow specialist with over 2 decades in financial and cash flow management. He lives on a big island with his wife, twin daughters, and recently added a couple of goats into the mix. Thomas DeSchutter, welcome to the Lindsay Elmore Show.
Awesome. Thank you for having me, Lindsay. It's been a while.
I know it has been a while. You and I first met when I was on your podcast, where we talked a lot about mindset and about how we can craft an intentional life. And I really want to start with, how did you go from a profit first professional, certified cash flow specialist, success coach, to being a spiritual teacher, mindfulness expert? You're currently pursuing a master's in divinity. How did this all manifest as one story of your life?
I was hoping you would be able to answer that for me today. Seriously, I was a rock musician. So prior to any of this stuff, any of my financial world, I played drums, I made records, I toured, lived my dream. So I have always kind of been in the realm of creative juice, spiritual awareness, I guess, in some capacity, because writing your own music, playing your own songs, marching to your own drummer, no pun intended or pun intended, requires a certain amount of willingness to step out of your comfort zone at a lot of levels. And I was, I have to blame my wife, I think, mostly, is that I ended up reading a book that moved me into the financial world coming out of music. And I spent 2 decades working in personal finance and as a stockbroker. And then I read A Course in Miracles. And it was like all of the reasons that I didn't want to have anything to do with organized religion cleared from me. And I saw that there were teachings and ways of being here that went beyond the dogma of organized religion and all of the structure that says I was a bad person because I was born a sinner, etc. And when that happened, and this was about 4.5 years ago, when that happened, the veils just went off. And I suddenly saw that there was work there for me, like there was something there for me. And then one night I'm laying in the bathtub and I was listening to Marianne Williamson. And I had this epiphany, and I came out of the bathroom crying, and my wife says, "What is wrong?" And I said, I'm finally saying why I'm here. She's like, "What's that?" I said, "I'm here to heal the gap between money and people's self-awareness. And I have the tools. I understand money. I've been in that world for 2 decades, and now I'm opening up to the spiritual realm. And I believe there's a way to merge these two pieces together and work with people so that they can empower themselves around finance and take away all of the stuff that's there, that because people are lost in this world of not opening statements, not wanting to deal with it. They don't understand it. And I just saw that was my thing to do. So for me, it was a really simple transition.
Of just having that moment of awakening. You had the epiphany. That was it.
I was like, okay, what does that look like? And then began the journey of, well, I don't want to say, hey, I watched The Secret and now I'm an expert. I need to get some teachings. I need to get some understanding. A Course in Miracles led me to the Unity Church down the street from my house, or the Unity Spiritual Center. And I went there, and the way they spoke was unlike anything else I had heard in terms of a spiritual center. One of their mission statements was a growing, unfolding center of light and love, mighty to attract its good and radiate good to others. And I heard that and I went, I'm home. This is my kind of place. And I literally have not missed a Sunday since then. And 6 months later, I was enrolled in spiritual classes to enter into the ministerial program with Unity.
That is just, it is an astonishing story, because I don't think that many people make the connection between financial health and spiritual health. So where do you think the disconnect lies? Why do we not tie these two things together as fundamentally nurturing and supportive and necessary for one to have the other?
Well, I truly believe it's because our financial system is based on a lie.
Okay, tell us what it is.
The entire Federal Reserve, the entire banks of international settlement are all a private cartel that is not owned by governments. It's a private organization of individuals and companies that print money, and all money that's generated is in the form of debt. And so therefore, we don't know this. They don't teach us this. There's no classes in school around money. There's nothing that tells us how the money system works. And I believe inherently we know there's something not right. And it actually prevents us from diving into it and understanding it, because it's a shell game. They're moving, money from here over to here. People get bailed out. Some people don't get bailed out. It's all intuitively, as the intuitive beings that we are, the spiritual beings that we are, it doesn't make sense. And we can't put our finger on it unless you dive in and start to unpack it. You don't know what's going on, and it just has this vibe to it that's not quite right.
Absolutely. It does have this vibe to it. So what's the truth? What is the truth about money?
I'm going to say it, Bitcoin.
Oh my gosh. So we're going that direction. Okay. So we're really going into the realm of the ethereal here. Okay. All right.
No. So the principle, and it's the principle of Bitcoin, that it's completely decentralized, that it can't be manipulated, that it can't be printed into infinitum, that it has a limited supply, and that what you have must be accounted for. That's what I mean. See, our current financial system is not built on that. It's built on sand. It's just like, and the sand is going away from under it, and they're trying to stuff it back in as fast as they can by printing more and more and more of it. But it's a mug's game. It's running out, and, we're just spinning around in a circle on it. That's it.